Thank you.
I want to ask you first about Virtus.pro. They're playing today in Group B. You played yesterday, so you guys didn't have a chance to see them, but they're 1-11 in ESL Pro League. Historically, they're very good on LAN. So what do you think about Virtus.pro at the moment? Do they have a chance to do well here? And are you worried about their slump?
I wouldn't be too worried about their slump. I think Virtus.pro has always been a team that has its ups and downs. Obviously now they're a bit down when it comes to their online results, but they're always a team that you should count on, and I think they can do great at this event. It's their home turf as well, so Virtus.pro is a great team, even though they haven't showed it.
Okay, and also a hot topic recently has been Splice advancing to the major event in Columbus. They were a replacement team, so what do you have to say about that, your thoughts, opinions?
I mean, when Mongols couldn't make it, it felt like obvious that it was supposed to be Splice that took the place. You can always argue that how would things go if Mongols played? How would we probably have SK or Vexed here? But I mean, I still think they deserved their spot, and they played great at the qualification. So kudos to them.
Okay, SPUNJ. I don't know if you've heard about him deleting his Twitter, Facebook. You know, players get a lot of criticism when they win their matches. So maybe you want to give your opinions on, you know, the players in general, as you're very closely related to all of them.
I'd say a lot of players get a lot of criticism at different times. We in Fnatic have had a lot of shitstorms towards us. There's been so many periods in our careers that we've been criticized and got a lot of hate. There was a situation where, well, the boost situation on DreamHack, where Olaf and Krims actually were close to quit playing CS. And I mean, what if? I mean, Olaf is the best player in the world now according to the rankings, and Krims was 7 or something. So I mean, what if those players decided to quit CS because of criticism back then? I think for SPUNJ that he doesn't deserve the criticism. I think Renegades are evolving at every tournament you see. I think they're progressing as a team, and I think he's a great leader. He's the greatest leader that Australia has ever had. And I would really hope to him to reconsider, and I would love to see him in the future at every event, because he's a great guy, it's a great team, and I really hope for them to do good.
Okay, so those are very strong words. I mean, very nice words as well. Best of one, we're seeing Katowice being played, the group stage, in a best of one system, 5 matches. Here, maybe it's not that big of an issue, but at other events where you have less matches, what do you think of the best of one? Do you like it in the group stage? Would you prefer a best of 3 in the group stage?
I think every format has its ups and downs. A best of 3 GSL format is good. I think this format was good as well. When it comes to BO1s, I think Lurpis did a great article about it. The probability of when a favorite team should win a best of 1, a best of 3, it doesn't differ that much. And I feel like if the veto process is done correctly, so to say, the favorites will come out on top.
Okay. So we saw a lot of new maps come out recently. Dinuke, Santorini is kind of loud, but it's not been played competitively ever. What do you think of the new maps and the state of CSGO at the moment?
I think it's great when new maps comes, because when you're looking at old maps or like Dust 2, it feels like every team plays the same way. If a team shows a new strategy that is good, every team is going to take it. But when you introduce a new map, there's going to be so much more room for creativity, and it's a really fun challenge to approach a new map. When it comes to Nuke, I really think it has potential to be a great map. I think it's maybe a little too much T-sided, but it's hard to say before the competitive scene really gets into it. We haven't had time to look into it that much. Santorini, I don't know. It feels like there's too much happening. Like I think the action will happen too quick. I don't think when you see other maps like Inferno, where you see set strats go off when it's 20 seconds left. Looking at Santorini, it feels like every round should take like 20 or 30 seconds, and it doesn't feel like Valve is trying to do with the game, and it doesn't fit in the map pool at all. So, but I have a lot of hope towards Nuke.
Okay, I want to talk a little bit about Luminosity. They've been playing amazing. At Star Ladder, for instance, they had a really good placing there. You guys played them in your groups, and they showed an amazing presence. I want to ask you maybe a little about Luminosity. Do you think the time is now that they're going to start performing very well? Very well. I mean, podium finishes at every event.
I think when Luminosity or when they started play, like a year ago, when they started to come into the scene, they were a great team, and they have since then been better and better for each event and for each time we play them. It's been harder to play them for every time. I think they're a great team. I'd say they are the second best team in the world, actually. I think they have a perfect balance between their players, and they have a good strategical foundation. I think Fallen is doing a great job there, and I think that they will have a great 2K16.
So, would you say Fallen is the best in-game leader in the world, or not quite?
It's hard to say when you're not in the team, but from the outside, he's probably one of the best.
Okay, Valve announced their $1 million major. What do you think about that? Do you think it's enough? Because, you know, we have the International, and Counter-Strike is putting up amazing numbers recently. There's been some opinions that it's not, that it's too much money. So what is your opinion on that?
Well, when they first announced that they were going to raise the prize pool, we were really surprised. We had talks about it, that they should raise the prize pool a little, because they need to keep the prestige of the tournament higher than the other tournaments. And we was thinking like, yeah, maybe they should double the prize pool. Like, so now they quadrupled the prize pool, and we like, yeah, okay, that's fine. It's obviously CS is growing huge, and I don't think it's too much. I don't think it's a decent prize pool. I think it's what the majors needed to keep their prestige.
Just decent?
Yeah, it's good. It's good.
Okay, and NIP. They had some roster changes after lackluster results. Now they're getting criticism for their new roster changes. So maybe I wanted to ask you what you think about the criticism that has come as a result of the roster changes, but also about them not being at the latest events. Do you think they were practicing, playing hard for their events, or do you think that maybe something else was going on?
Well, the events that have been played, the Star Ladder finals, the ESL finals, was simply tournaments that they didn't qualify for. If they were to qualify, I guess they would be there. But they have been practicing a lot. And when it comes to the roster change, I don't feel that Pyth is an obvious upgrade to Alu. I think Alu was a great player. I think Pyth is a great player as well. But I think what has made NiP a better team now is Threat. I think he has the potential to make NiP great again. I think he's from Sweden, one of the most the smartest player or persons around CS there is, so he can really help out in NIP, and he will have more impact than Pyth in the whole change, I think.
So I wanted to talk a little about the teams that are playing in Group A, that have already played in Group A. However, it's very difficult to talk about a group that's already happened. So maybe I'll ask you about Group B. And who would you want to play out of Group B? So who do you not want to see win the group?
It doesn't matter at all. I feel like we placed second and Luminosity played first in our group, so we won't face them until a potential final. And as I said, Luminosity is our biggest threat right now. When it comes to all other teams, if we play our A game, we feel really comfortable in playing any team. Yeah, I wouldn't prefer any team ahead of anyone else.
So something that just interested me is you played Mongols, so maybe you can say something about the Asian scene or the Asian teams. What do you think of Mongols? Obviously, they're behind the rest of the European teams. As we saw, they went 0-5. However, maybe you saw something in them that you could share with us.
Well, first off, I think for the growth of Counter-Strike and esport in general, it's super important that we have interest from all over the world, so that the Asian scene is evolving is great. Nothing but great for Counter-Strike. So it's really fun to see that they start to attend international tournaments. When it comes to Mongols, they obviously did a good qualification or the tournament back in Asia, but they had a lot of flaws when we played them. They had one superstar, like Sogo. He played so good, but other than that, like they had no strategic base whatsoever. They were playing very YOLO-like. They were rushing and they were taking a lot of duels. They were taking a lot of duels alone, individually. They had no structure as a team, and but I mean they seem to have the individual potential.
Thanks, Kenny.
They seem to have the individual potential for sure, but they have a lot of work ahead of them to be able to compete with your European teams.
Okay, I actually talked with Olafmeister at Starladder, and I asked him what makes Fnatic so good, and he said, because we're all amazing and we're all great players. Do you agree with that? Do you think there's something more to Fnatic? I mean, obviously having the 5 best players in the world helps, but you're the coach, so maybe you have some more analysis that you could share with us.
I think what differs us from most teams are how we react with act with each other. We have a big respect for every player. Like if someone does a mistake, he won't get any hate for it, or like I can see in other teams that like they say, what the fuck are you doing, or stuff like that. We always have a big respect for each other, and in that way we always try to help each other. We don't care if Olaf doesn't care if he has a huge game as long as he wins. If he doesn't feel 100% the game, he can take a step back, let someone else take room. So and in combination with that, we have a really great synergy. We know each other so well, both outside the game and in game. We know exactly how a player wants to play, and we can build rounds around almost every player. Like if JW says, I want to do this, we build a round around that. If Dennis wants to play in a way, we build a round around that. So there's so much, they're so humble towards each other that we can play in so many different ways that we're always unpredictable. We always help each other out, and yeah, as I said, the synergy just clicks, and we're having fun.
That's great to hear, because that's what real teams do in other sports as well. Well, that's all the questions I had prepared, so thank you so much. This is e-frag.net. We're here at IEM Katowice 2016. Stay tuned to our YouTube and our website for more videos coming live from the event.